体は揃った。ファントムで行われるソブレムの青いバラの上演、奴らは必ず動き出すだろう。
Mystery anime is heavily underrated these days, isn't it? Everyone's taking their pick on the newest action or isekai anime, but no one likes to be that good old Sherlock and dig around someone's family issues. Even though there are new shows like Tokyo Revengers that add mystery as a sub-element to the plot, there aren't many good shows that make its mystery one of the main plot elements and then expands the story using the surprise factor of that mystery. Fret not, even though modern anime doesn't usually follow those standards, today I want to shine the spotlight on one anime that follows this formula and does it right. It's none other than Gosick.
これから何年の地か、世界中揺るがす大きな風が吹くであろう。
So, what's this anime about? From the poster, you might deduct it's about an average generic male character and a female detective lolly, and guess what? You're right. In terms of premise, Gosick doesn't even try to evolve into something modern and unique, but it holds the story together with its mystery. Let me back up a little and explain the story first. When foreign student Kazuya visits his school's library, he finds a doll-like girl named Victorique and This little girl possesses the power to predict the future, or so she says, and can solve any mystery her brother brings to her. Her brother is a famous detective working in the local police, and Victorique is his main tool when it comes to solving mysteries. Now, the lonely Kazuya joins up with this doll-like detective in solving her mysteries, while he gets to know an even bigger plot that revolves around his kingdom. Now, I know what you think, how can a simple mystery show tie up to a story about an entire kingdom? Well, it's like the Sherlock Holmes story getting mixed up with the First World War. But this is the point where Gosick shines, because it has an exceptionally good way of increasing the tension, expanding its scope, and turning a good old detective show into large-scale political warfare. Did you know that Gosick starts off with a little bit of horror? Not that Higurashi type of horror with screaming psycho girls and mind games, but the one that gives you the chills. There's this one episode where our main duo gets trapped in a ship, and the mystery and the setting blend into this horror story about dead children and walking corpses. Now, as I mentioned before, one of the main factors I like about this show is how it nicely mixes up the genres and shifts them easier than shifting gears. You start off with a little bit of horror and mystery before the political plot kicks in. Then, along with politics, you've got a family drama mixing in until it slowly kicks up into romance. Gosick doesn't stay fixated on one genre, as it steps into one after the other in order to suit the backstory and the fate of the characters. Hey, the main character has a tragic backstory, so let's add more drama to it. Wait, she finds a potential love interest? Then let's add some romance. But this doesn't essentially mean Gosick goes changing genres in a way to ruin your viewing experience. Most of the time, you won't even know the genre's shifted, because the overall mystery still hooks you in and forces you to watch it till the end. And the final arc of the story nicely blends in all of the mystery, romance, and political subplots, and doesn't leave off any plot threads hanging for you to solve. What's the point of a detective show if it doesn't have mystery in it, right? And trust me, Gosick has plenty of mystery, both big and small. The smaller mysteries are what you can see in each arc. They're normally solved off and cleared within the span of about 2 to 3 episodes, while the bigger mystery still looms over the whole story. And this larger mystery is what I like most about the show. In almost every detective anime, the writers always focus on the small mysteries you get within each arc. These serve as a backdrop to the development of characters and as a way of moving the story forwards, but not all detective anime adapt the big mystery trope very well. One of the only few shows that does this was Psycho Pass. While we get small cases about various murders and incidents, it also ties into this larger mystery about the Sybil system, as well as the machinations of Makishima. Gosick is the exact same. We've got small individual mysteries, and they combine to form a large political plot. We can see hints of this larger plot in all these smaller cases, and sometimes it's either hinted at or foreshadowed during a climactic part of the arc. Soon, you realize that you're watching the show to see this larger political mystery come to a conclusion, and the mystery isn't directly thrown into your face in large info dumps, but it neatly combines with these character backstories so you can sympathize with these characters while learning about the truth. And speaking of characters, I also want to take the time to shine the spotlight on our main duo.
なんでショックセット？これおかしい。椅子？君難民なの？
必要だったら必要なのだ。
What's the point of watching a story if you aren't invested in the characters? And Gosick doesn't present you with incredibly unique and original characters, but it does provide a main character duo you can root for. Staying true to their character designs, Kazuya looks like your average anime main character, while Victorique is the perfect example for a lolly female character. There's nothing special about them, and their character arcs aren't something that should be hailed as legendary, but these two characters definitely earn our sympathy as we progress through the story. I also believe this is what the writers needed to do. They needed us to sympathize with the characters so we could root for them throughout the story. For example, Kazuya isn't someone who doesn't have that perfect family background and had an abusive father. Victorique's past is even darker, and I can't explain much about it without diving into spoilers, so it's best if you can learn about her past on your own. In the end, it's all about characters trying to overcome their pasts and then moving on. I believe this to be the central theme of the show, and it's not just our main duo we should be concerned about. As the story moves forward, we'll get introduced to other characters who've all had failures in their past, but now they work together to overcome their failures by correcting their past mistakes, or in some cases, destroying the ones who failed them. Now, I'm more of a plot-centered guy and don't really care too much about animation as other people do, but Gosick has some decent animation that complements the story. It isn't such a masterpiece like anything done by Studio Ufotable, but you don't need stellar animation in a detective story. Gosick has nice animation that isn't too mediocre or too exaggerated, and I think that that's the perfect balance a show like this needs in terms of animation quality. Enough about the animation because I want to specifically talk about the music in this anime. Normally, I listen to the full version of any anime opening or ending only if it suits my taste, and Gosick's music definitely suits my taste, and I'm sure you'll start loving the songs as you hear them too. The opening themes aren't anything special for me, but I believe the anime nailed it with its ending themes. Never before have I seen an anime using music to convey both the tone and emotion of the whole show. Lisa Gomine's voice mixing in with the tragic tune of both the endings forces you to watch all those credits, and when it ends, you get this longing feeling as well as some nostalgia about the whole show. So even if you don't watch the anime, listen to its two endings, Resuscitated Hope and Unity. So, to finish everything off, I believe Gosick is an anime any detective fan must watch. It's got plenty of mystery, as well as some heartwarming drama to accompany it. The show does have a few issues with its pacing, and some parts of the ending felt rushed compared to the slow build-up in the beginning, but I'm sure none of that will affect the overall enjoyment you get from watching this series. It also is an anime that doesn't have a large number of characters. Sure, you get a few new faces here and there with each new arc, but the main cast is limited to 4 or 5 main characters, so you don't need to check wiki pages to keep track of what happened to everyone. So go watch Gosick, and after watching 2 episodes, you're going to be addicted to it. It's a gem that shouldn't be missed and an anime that will remain with you forever. That's my take on the anime Gosick, and I hope you found out whether it suits your taste. If so, then be glad you found another anime to binge while you're bored. If you've watched the show and you've got anything to add about it, sound off below in the comments section about what you liked the most about this anime. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be updated as soon as we release a new video. Stay safe, anime fans, and I'll see you in the next one.